Welcome back to Black Tower Tales following Nyx and Wiggins' Shadow Cloak. We are currently on Scene 7. My name is Body. And when we last were here with our adventurers, Nyx and Wiggins were exploring the castle that they're planning on staying the night in tonight. It's sort of late afternoon, maybe 7 or 8 in the evening, and they just found this crazy miner guy who was sitting in a what was it called? Sitting in a combat area, like where soldiers would train in a small castle. So what I think the next scene is going to be is after Nyx and Wiggins take the guy back to where they're staying because they're trying to keep him safe, keep him out of the elements. Maybe if it starts to rain or something. My thinking is they are going to explore at least one more room that's in the area of the first level of the castle. So I guess my question is, first of all, do they actually take this guy back to where they're going to sleep? Because I mean, he is crazy. There's a good argument to why you wouldn't do that. So I think, honestly, I think it's actually unlikely that they do. So that's going to be Chaos 2. Remember, we're also at Chaos 2 and Target 13. So I think it's unlikely. So that's really a 10% chance for them to actually do this. So 75, that's a no. It was quite close to a hell no, but not quite close enough. So they don't bring him back and let him stay sort of in the workshop where they were planning on staying the night later on. So I think they're actually going to try to hide that from him, that they're staying in the area. But so really at this point they're going to leave him sort of in the training area, in the big open scene right next to the broken pole where they found him. But they were able to find out some information about the area from him, so it's not like a waste of time or something. But what we're going to do now is we need to test the expected scene. So we're looking for a chaos roll, Chaos 2, and an 8. So we do not have an altered or interrupt scene because we rolled over the chaos factor. And now for this next room in the castle, we're going to turn to our helpful castle generator table, and we actually have a D4 where for the castle size value, and this is going to be a 4, so this is going to be a storeroom. So off to the side from the combat practice area, they find a storeroom with a normal, not really ornate, just a normal stout door separating it from the open area where all the practicing takes place. Now we get to do our 6d12 roll for the contents of the storeroom. Compare that to our chart here. Alright, so 2, 5, and 4 are not going to be anything. We got a 3, that's also nothing. So for the blue, we have a 10. So that's going to be a clue. Storeroom. And then the clear has an 8. And this is a standard room. And then an 8, there's going to be a boon. A clue and a boon inside the room. So what I'm curious about is, what is the nature of this boon? I think let's see. Yes, there is a boon chart here. A boon table, chapter 4.1. I'm going to put these back here, and we've got a D100 that we're looking to roll. What sort of boon is in the storeroom? 29. That is a blessing of protection. The balloon is a blessing of protection. So inside this storeroom, I think what happens is while Wiggins and Nix are sort of exploring this storeroom, instead of it being a normal storeroom where there's only food and larder type supplies in it, it's going to have also like equipment and sort of magical things. So while they're exploring inside this storeroom, one of them, let's see which one. I'm gonna say hi is Nix. So Wiggins actually, because of his sort of magical training in nature, he encounters this an artifact, some sort of artifact that when he touches it and comes in range, it's like this little statue that he picks it up and its eyes light up. And for basically how long? I'm going to say, I think D8 hours. So, okay, for 1 hour. For the next hour, he's going to have that +1 AC for 1 hour. So it gives him a small little enchantment to maybe, if he gets into some sort of combat here, have some get a little bit of a bonus. And then the clue, what we're going to do here is roll on, first of all, we need to do the random event focus to see what the nature of the clue is. Like, what is the clue about? See if that helps us. 86. That's going to be current context. So it's a clue about the castle in general. So we know a few things about the castle. It's a small castle. It's been abandoned for a while. Like, the main tower is dilapidated. There was a skeleton in one of the workshops, and I mean, it had a workshop that was full of things that you would use to make children's toys, and sort of half-done projects that are laying all about in the sawdust and the raw wood. But now we get to figure out actions and descriptors for this clue. So I'm going to go with action 2 and descriptor 1. Oh, that's just a 2. That's going to be adversity. And 28, which is, a descriptor 1, which is energetically. Energetic adversity is the clue. So I think this says to me that the sort of the chaos statue that was out in the world that the miner guy found, and eventually he came to this castle. I think the reason he came to this castle is because there is this chaotic adversarial energy about the castle, and that the statue that he encountered cursed him in some way and made him come to the castle, and that the castle itself has some sort of curse about it. And what that means, I think, as well, what is the clue that tells them about this? I actually think that it's related to the boon that they get, where what's going to happen is Wiggins takes this small statuette of the +1 AC, and he's going to take it out of the storeroom after they search it. Actually, since it's sort of a normal storeroom, I'm going to see what are the odds that they actually get some sort of rations or something like that from it. So I think it's very unlikely because of how dilapidated the place is, but maybe there's some sort of jerky. We're at Chaos 2, very unlikely, so there's like a 5% chance. Yeah, 45, no. They don't get any. It's empty barrels, empty boxes, things like that fill the storeroom. Spider webs everywhere. So they managed to find this small statuette, maybe hidden underneath a box, but for the most part, they leave the storeroom with nothing except for the small statuette. And the way they find out that the statuette is a clue related to what happened to the miner is when they bring the statuette out and are sort of walking, giving the miner a large berth as they return back to the store or to the workshop. The miner actually looks up and sees the statuette in Wiggins's hand as he's maybe they're even discussing it, like thinking about what the nature of the statuette might be. And I'm going to say that the miner actually has some sort of reaction to seeing the statue because it reminds him of the statue that he saw with his group out in the wilderness. What is the nature of his reaction, though? Let's see. Do we have a table that will help with this? I'm going to go... There's this table I hear for NPC bearing where you basically roll... Yeah, D100, and you're able to, no, so I'm just gonna use let's use the characters and objects table. Let's see what happens there. So the clue, and then the minor reaction is the character and object table. So character first is 70. It's going to be old, okay, and 56. Old and liquid. Liquid. How does old and liquid characterize his response to the statue? What I think that means is he sees that the statue, in his eyes, the statue is like super old, and because he's a crazy man all of a sudden, he thinks that the statue is like super hot, and what he's trying to do is take the statue from Wiggins and try to dunk it into a barrel of water that's on the side of the area that he was sitting in. So essentially what Nix and Wiggins see is as they're walking by, the wizard sort of just stands up and starts bolting towards them. Wiggins reacts and is just like, what the hell's going on? But then I think the miner is actually, he's going to get a +1 on a strength roll to try to take the statue from Wiggins. 11 and a target 13, that's a 12. So actually this is going to be contested, isn't it? So he got a 12. Wiggins rolls a 10. So yeah, so the miner runs up to Wiggins and is just like, no, you can't have that, it's got to go. And he grabs at the statue, wrestles it out of Wiggins's hand, and runs over to a barrel. The question is, does the barrel actually have water in it? I think it's 50-50, but we're at Chaos 2, so who knows. 97. So not only does it not have water in it, it's just full of sand. The same sand that's covering the sort of clearing that they're in, but this sand, I mean, it's not anything particularly special. But the miner slams the statue into the sand and walks back up to Wiggins and Nix, talking like, "Oh, you're welcome. I just saved you. You never know what was going to happen to you if you didn't get rid of that thing." And he goes back to his post that he's sitting by, sort of muttering to himself. The question I have is, what does do they I mean, it's just sitting on the top of this sand. Let's say the barrel's about half full of sand, so it's not like they can see what's in it or what's in the barrel and what's happened to the statue. So I think it's really likely. In fact, that's not even something that I think we need to roll. Like, they're just gonna go pick it back up. And let's see. What I'm curious about is, does the miner react again to them picking it up? It's 50-50. I don't know. 72. So no. So this time I'm gonna say he's just, at this point, he's lost in thought, or maybe he thinks that whatever fire he imagined was on the statue is put out now, so they're able to go and pick up the statue and take it back to their where they're staying in the workshop. And I think that's actually just gonna end the scene. It's kind of interesting. The question is, do they realize that the statue is related to the other statue? I'm gonna give one of them. Do they both have the same wisdom? And I'm gonna give Wiggins a wisdom roll to see if he's able to interpret what happened with the miner, to see if he realizes that the statue is related. If the miner said something to indicate that the statue is similar to the statue that he saw previously. I think this is going to be hard because without the miner actually like coming out and just saying it, I don't think he would have any real way. But we're going to have target 16 because it's difficult, but he does have a +2. So 18. So yeah, I think because the guy had just started talking about the statue and in the woods, and he obviously probably, I'm gonna say the miner described the statue in the woods, and probably described how the eyes lit up in like a pale blue glow, and then he saw the same pale blue on this small statue. But it wasn't until the miner freaked out about it that he realized that the lights are the same, and oh wait, this statue is sort of the same description as that larger statue out in the wilderness. So I'm gonna say that actually counts as a piece of loot. It's a small chaos statue. And we end the scene with Nix and Wiggins entering we end the scene with them leaving the courtyard and presumably going into the workshop where they're gonna spend the night. And that's gonna be it. So we go into scene 8. I think that was a little weird. Like, things were more out of control than not, even though there wasn't a whole lot that happened this scene. It was just sort of, we learned a little bit. Wiggins got a little bit of a bonus. But I do think because of the way it went, I do think chaos goes up. I think chaos goes back to 3. And honestly, since Wiggins succeeded in the role, really it's the only role that happened this time, or this in the whole scene. Really, since Wiggins succeeded at that role, I think they had a pretty easy time of it. So I'm going to say 50% chance that we want to go up to target 12 or target 14. High is go up, obviously. 8. Yeah, so we're going to go up to target 14. And that is going to end the scene. Do we have any changes to cast and threads? I think we already have the thread for the chaos statue, and the miner's already in the cast. Yeah, I don't think we changed the cast or the threads at all. So that's going to be it for this scene. Kind of a shorter, less action-packed scene this time, but you know, those types of scenes are necessary to sort of like fill out and add texture to the world, right? So we'll see you next time.